All right, as I told you, it's going to be a very busy day. My first stop is with my good friend Luke Travelpiece. We're here at Southside. I absolutely love the countryside. I love coming to this school district. Lots of friends and people that I know. A long journey with this incredible school, going back 30 years ago when I was in that press box calling those games. You know, one thing I'm starting to realize, and I'm off to see Ryan Lynn a little bit. He went here a little bit from now. He went to school here. This whole wing tee thing goes back to Coach McDougal, your time here, and you've had a lot of success with it. So before we talk about Greensburg Central Catholic, the upcoming game at Peters Township, so why the wing tee?
Yeah, so actually it goes back before Coach McDougal, and of course he did and does a great job with it, right? But Rich Ashcroft was the guy that brought the wing tee to us back in the 80s. And the reason why was, you know, we're not always the fastest, we're not always the biggest, but we always have tough, disciplined, hard-nosed kids. And so what system kind of fits that mentality, that mindset, that mold of athlete? And so Coach did a great job of researching way back in the day, and he determined that the wing tee would be a good fit. And we've been able to, you know, maintain it, continue to have success. And you're talking off camera about Geneva running a similar offense with the triple option. And,
right.
You know, I spent a lot of time there and with Coach DeMarco and loved the run game. So when I came down here and started learning the wing tee, it was just a perfect match for my mentality and mindset as well.
All right, just for the viewers, let's just do some X and O's here. So the triple option, that quarterback's dragging the ball to the line of scrimmage. It kind of explain exactly when I talk about the wing tee, because I've been talking about it a lot in recent weeks, and I think it's nice to kind of get a refresher course. So explain it a little bit to the audience.
Yeah, so the wing tee and the way that we run it, you know, the original wing tee, you'd have it comes from the old straight tee, right? But they would move one of the backs from the backfield to the straight tee or the full house that you've seen, you know, Philadelphia and Penn State kind of make popular again. Rochester in our area does a great job with it.
Yep.
But moves one of those backs up to the wing. So that was the original wing tee, you know, and again, Delaware was the one that made it famous. And the whole purpose is misdirection and creating angle blocks for your linemen. So you don't have undersized linemen trying to block somebody man on man that outweighs them by 30 or 40 pounds. You know, what we do is we've actually moved it up to more of a double wing. So we have both backs up on the line of scrimmage the majority of the time. Sometimes we'll go back to one wing and two backs, but it just gives you guys an opportunity, gives them angles, just an opportunity to be more successful.
Yeah, I think of the pro set, the tee, the power eye, all these different things, but the wing tee is absolutely fascinating. Okay, Greensburg Central Catholic, look, 8-3. Turner is a triple threat. This kid can throw the football. He's got 17 touchdowns in the air, and he can run just over 600 yards. He's got 13 touchdowns. Crosby is another strong running back. So make no mistake about it, this is going to be a very tall task for your football team.
Absolutely. You know, you talked about the offensive side, and you know, our defense all week we've been harping on. We need to be disciplined. You need to know your keys. You need to know your reads, and you need to trust it. And we all need to do our jobs, because those two, as well as the other players they have the opportunity to take it to the house any given play. Very special athletes. Crosby, you know, he's a sophomore. I'm seeing that he's getting noticed by UNLV and some other, you know, pretty big schools. So he's definitely a player. And then Turner, you know, you talked about what he does throwing the ball and running the ball. He's hard to bring down. He's hard to tackle. And they both do a great job on defense too. They're physical, tough football players. Type of kid that you love to have on your team and hate to have to prepare for on the other side.
And here's the other thing. I'm reading the article in the Beaver County Times. Don't forget the Allegheny Health Network Sports Medicine Friday night game of the week. Pine, Richland, Penn Hills, KDKA tomorrow night beginning at 6. Paul Alexander. And, of course, Dan Zangrilli and company with all the action throughout the evening. Then I'll have both coaches, Charles Morris of Penn Hills and John Ladon of Aliquippa, of course, fame, grew up there. Now the coach at Pine Richland will be joining me as well right after local news at 11. Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. And don't forget, just a few miles from the south side location, at Coons Market in Hopewell, where we spend a lot of time on a regular basis. But here's the thing. That Beaver County Times article, I mean, it makes you guys 5-star. I mean, let's face it. You've won 11 straight, 26 or more points per game, 44 points. You've been like basically with production offensively, holding opponents to a little over a touchdown a game. And don't think for a minute they're not reading that, and they would like nothing more than to knock you off that pedestal.
You know, absolutely. You know, I read an article that they had yesterday in the local paper from the Trib, and they talk about the opportunity to come out, and they're the 8th seed, and it's great to get, you know, I think their first win in 10 years, and they're excited. They're playoff win, I should say. But they're excited about what they're doing and the team that they're building. It's Coach Thompson's first year, and he's doing a very good job schematically. They're very disciplined, and they're going to come out with a chip on their shoulder, and they want to be the team to knock off the 1 seed, and they're talented enough to do it. We need to be on top of our game.
Yeah, Peters Township is where it's going to be a great venue. It's going to be a one for the ages. It's a quarterfinal matchup, Class 1A. Let's just say one thing. We've been bragging on this wing T, but Brody Almasher, your quarterback, he can throw the football. Make no mistake about it. He can put it in the end zone. So if you have to do that, Navarro Cornfield can run it, but that kid can throw it.
Absolutely. We're blessed this year at all of the skill positions. We've got some wonderful wide receivers. We have Carter Wilson and Ben Bird. Both of those guys are phenomenal, and they fill a tremendous role for us because you can't single cover them, right? And with Brody's ability to pinpoint the ball, and it takes a little bit more out of the box, opens up some more running lanes for us. And so, when you've seen our more successful teams since I've been here, when it was 18 with Jake McDougal as a wide receiver, and then in 19 we had Trenton Seek out there as a wide receiver. These guys are able to match what they were able to do for us and just create more pressure for the defense. It's not just our ability to attack either flank with the run, but also to throw. It just opens up a whole nother world of possibilities for us.
Listen, make no mistake about it. They're playing some exceptional football, Class 6A, and of course 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A. But man, Fort Cherry, Bishop Canevin, yourself, Rochester, man, this is some great football.
Clairton.
Yeah.
Right? Clairton, Greensburg Central, California.
Yep.
Right? It's just, you look at our bracket, you look at all 8 teams that are remaining, and they're all scary, they're all threats. We saw it last year with Union. Any team can get hot, any team's capable of pulling it off, and I think Union was the other team that we haven't mentioned. We already saw them a couple weeks ago, and the athletes that they have, a lot of guys returning from the Whitfield Championship team. So it's going to be deep. It's going to be an interesting next 3 weeks. Whoever comes out on top is definitely battle tested, and I think we're all hoping to be the one that comes out on top, but we're all going to be hoping that champion represents us well the rest of the way, and I think they will.
Listen, he was talking about Clairton. They're not the same football team after those few losses to begin the season. And who finished behind them in the Eastern Conference? Their opponent, who they have, Greensburg Central Catholic, coming up. And Bishop Canevin is going to take on this California team. So, man, there's just all sorts of exciting things happening. Don't forget your flagship home to the WPIAL. KDKA 100.1 FM, AM 1020. It's your Pratte Pack. More to come throughout the day. Back on the radio tonight, right after the quest for the best. Dan Zangrilli, Mike White, Eric Kasparovich and company. 2 hours of some of the best X&O talk you'll find anywhere. We'll join you after local news at 8 on KDKA 100.1 FM, AM 1020. Thanks to Coach Travelpiece, and thanks to everyone here at Southside. Have a great day, everybody. It's your Pratte Pack.